on to the Baylor Bears. Baylor Bears won the Big 12 championship a couple years ago, 2 years ago to be exact. But they're coming off a 6-6 season, 4-5 in conference play. Lost the Armed Forces Bowl to Air Force. Blake Shapen, starting quarterback, does return. They do lose Kyron Jones, who's the backup quarterback. He goes again from the ACC episode to VTech. Their leading rusher, Richard Reese, does return. They do have a transfer from Arkansas, Jackson, Johnny Carter, a cornerback, transfers in from Utah State. Ace, one more second. Ace, they had 58th. They were 58th in total defense, 62nd in passing defense. Like we said, is the Big 12. 62nd in rushing defense, 45th in total offense, 69th in passing, and 43rd in rushing. Ace, give me something about Baylor.
I want to piggyback just off what you were saying. Like, defense is the main thing about them. This is a team that were Big 12 champs in 2021. You know what I mean? They were allowing 19.8 points per game that year. Last year, 30.7. So that tells you all you need to know right there. It's a team that fluctuated a lot over the past, I guess, about 4 years. You know what I mean? Let's see. They were in the conference championship in 2019. They lost. 2020, they went 2-7. But, who didn't have a bad season in 2020? Then 2021, they went and won it, obviously. And last year, they lost their last 4 games. And what was their record? 6-7.
6-6. 6-7 with the bowl game.
Yeah, with the bowl game. That's pretty unacceptable. I have a cool little tidbit about them. Just another thing about their defense. They were 1-3 in November, and they gave up 437 yards per game. It's like, how can you really be a good team if you're giving up those kind of numbers? Exactly.
Those sound effects. Just keep going.
But yeah,
keep going live with being produced. So just keep going.
But this is the thing, despite all that, their defense was ranked 4th in the Big 12. So they can do some things right. You know what I mean? They just lack the pass rush, and they're losing their leading tackler, Dennis Doyle. But they got a Liberty transfer coming in, Mike Smith, who should take over that role. I heard he's pretty good, but we don't really know exactly how that's going to translate to Big 12 play.
Yes, sir.
Another thing, they have on the offensive line, BYU transfers. They got the Barrington brothers, Campbell and Clark. And Clark is supposedly going to be a pretty good NFL prospect for next year. So maybe that'll help with their rebuilding O-line. And hopefully that'll lead to the running backs leading the offense and whatnot from there. Because when you think about BYU, it's a gritty team. They got to run well. They got to have good defense. If they can't do that, then are they really BYU?
Not at all. And to piggyback off your point, 30-point-something points a game and 4th in the Big 12 in defense. So that's just lets you know defense is not prioritized in the Big 12. Yeah. So they returned 8 starters, 5 on defense, 3 on offense. 37th, bad handwriting, 37th overall recruiting class. And one more thing, I got to shout out to Terrell Bernard and Jalen Petrie, big contributing factors in that 2021 Baylor Bear defense. So shout out to them. They're now in the league. We're going to get into the schedule. First game of the year, we have Texas State. I have them winning that game.
I have them winning as well.
Then we go to Utah, where I have them going to take an L at Baylor.
Yes, I also have them taking the L to Utah.
Maybe another matchup next year coming to the Big 12. Moving on to Long Island, I have them getting a W. That's an FCS school.
Yeah, they should get a W if they have some self-respect.
Then we start Big 12 play with a game versus Texas. I have that as a loss.
I think this would be a rout.
Yeah, me too. Then we go to at UCF in the hot Florida sun, where I have them taking a loss.
Yeah, I have them taking a loss with this one as well.
All right, moving on from UCF, we go to Texas Tech, where I have them getting their first W in Big 12 play.
I actually have them taking the L on this one.
Okay. Then we go to at Cincy, where I have them taking a W.
I have them taking a W as well.
All right. Then we go to Iowa State in I believe a rematch. Not a rematch, but I think they lost this game last year. If I'm not mistaken. But I have Baylor taking a W. I know this game was close. I just can't. I think Baylor pulled away late, but I got them taking a W.
Yeah, I can't really remember what it was last year, but I do have them taking a W for this one.
All right, and then they play Houston at home, where I have them catching the 4th straight W.
I have them on their 3rd straight W, yes.
Yes, sir. And from Houston, I have them at Kansas State, where I have Kansas State winning this game, Baylor taking a loss.
Yes, Baylor is definitely taking a loss to Kansas State.
All right. From Kansas State, I have at TCU, where I have TCU winning, Baylor taking another loss.
I have Baylor taking another loss as well. But, however, I do want to say, I do think that a lot of these games will be close. And I want to just say that as a trend for the Big 12 as a whole, this conference is defined by close games. So whoever can win those close games is most likely going to be in the Big 12 championship and get that playoff berth.
For sure. Speaking of close games, we have Baylor finishing the season with a game at home against West Virginia, a game that they lost and a close one last year. Give me Baylor to finish out the season with a W.
Yeah, give me Baylor to finish the season strong with a W.
All right, so that puts me having Baylor at 7-5, 5-4 in conference play, making them bowl eligible. Go ahead, Ace. What you got your final record as?
Yeah, I have them about at 6-6, barely bowl eligible. Who knows what they'll be in?
All right, so you got them going the same as last year. It's not bad. I'm not mad at that. Like you said,
I don't think they're a great team, but I do know that not playing Oklahoma or Oklahoma State helps them, or over Kansas. You know, getting Texas at home. I mean, who knows? You know, maybe they can pull out some juice that we didn't know they had. And the funny thing about that matchup, the home team has won the last 5 meetings, and so you know we'll see.
Yeah, I think that trend ends, but nice little trend though.
Hey, you know, stats.
Moving on to be.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.